This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
To what?
The views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL, however. We're the ones that have encouraged you all along to like and share them on social media and with all your friends and neighbors because it's time to get healthy and stay that way. It's time for Joanne's World of Nutrition, brought to you by Nutrition World and hosted each week at this time by the one and only Joanne Seeger.
Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. Wow. Woo. Happy New Year. I love even numbers, so I love 2024. I already love it. Only 3 days in 2024. Yeah, it's weird. Me and odd numbers
It's kind of weird.
Don't really go together
Getting used to writing the new year every year about
I know.
this time. Is just,
I know. But who writes it anymore? Everything's digital, right?
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Well, I definitely need to do the breath work this morning. Are you ready for it? How long has it been since you've done some breath work, sir?
I have to do it sometimes every day.
Good. Well, so good. At least someone's listening.
You see, when you, well, you see, when you're sidetracked with a physical ailment, and I'm saying I had some surgery lately a while back on something that I had no idea how much the cure was much more painful than the ailment itself.
And sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
absolutely. I'm glad you're okay.
Yes.
But the breath work helped you through?
Oh yeah. There was times I had to breathe. And every time I go to the doctor's office and get the blood pressure when they do your vitals and all that.
Right.
I always pull that on them when we're doing the blood pressure. I say, I can make my blood pressure go down. Watch. Test it now and then test it again in 2 minutes after we do this.
I know. Isn't it incredible?
And then they do it again. Say, how'd you do that? I won't give away my secret, but it is something to do
well,
with
tell
breathing.
them to listen to my show.
Yeah,
There
listen
you
to
go.
this show, and you'll find out what
I love when
breath work
doctors
is.
listen to the show. Yay.
Oh, yeah. And you know, a lot of doctors agree that breathing is a vital importance.
Right.
You know?
Some of them, right? All right. So let's do some breath work. So anyone listening for the first time, welcome to the show. We try to start each show with some breath work. It's super simple. We just give a moment to ourselves to exhale out anything that doesn't feel right in our body, any stress, tension, feelings, the nerves just kind of going off. And then we're going to breathe. I'm trying to decide, okay, it's a new year. You know what? I'm going to stick to Old Faithful. Let's do 5 in and 5 out 3 times.
Without pausing in the middle?
With no pausing.
Okay.
Yeah. So 5 in, 5 out 3 times. How simple is that? But any breath work is good breath work. Okay. Whew, all right. Let's exhale out anything. A lot of snowbirds here in Florida right now. The Treasure Coast is
We're all
really
freezing.
busy. Yeah, we're freezing with snowbirds, but we welcome them. We love our snowbirds and so grateful for them. So welcome back. All right. So let's exhale out.
All right, no pauses.
All
Here we
right,
go.
here we go.
In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 2, 3, 4, 5. In. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, that felt so good. Just 2 times. I think we said 3, but who cares? It's a new year. We can make mistakes. All right, so
Well, you can also always, if you're watching the video archive of this show, you just rewind it and watch
do
it a
it
couple more
again.
times.
Or you could go on YouTube and there's 1,000 different breathwork videos.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to mention that now our new store phone does take text messaging. So I know a lot of people these days are not taking time for phone calls, but they love to text. So I want to put a shout out to all my listeners. I'm again very grateful for you. Some ideas for 2024 radio show topics. So if you can text the store, so 772-464-3598, any ideas for radio show topics. So if it's a condition that you're really struggling with, I'll really do a deep dive into the information about it, or maybe even I'll be able to get a guest on that has the expertise in that situation. But really, if it's emotional, physical, whatever it is, let's do a deep dive on it. So I need some ideas for 2024. I went over my notes for many years on the radio show, and I realized that a lot of the topics that I believe in, I do repeat a lot. So I wouldn't mind to hear, I would love to hear from you to give me some new ideas. But today's show is going to be a little bit about a recap of 2023 and what my favorite products still today are, and just some struggles to start the new year. And some people really had the best intentions with their, oh my gosh, what do they call them? See, I don't do them anymore. The goals. What do you call the New Year's resolutions? See, I stopped doing them. I try to make a resolution each and every morning. So, sometimes it's already the third and people are already discouraged because they're just kind of like, falling short on all the things they told their brain that they wanted to do.
Now, in order to take the text, you did not have to get another phone number, did you? It's your
No, it's
regular
the
phone
same,
number.
772-464-3598. You
That's
can
amazing.
text it. Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's awesome now. So we can communicate with everyone, and have everyone's name so we can get
Yeah.
more familiar with our customers if they like us to be. But
And you
we
got to
will
like and
never text you annoying stuff. Don't you worry.
yeah, and you can always share and follow and subscribe to Joanne's show on
That's
YouTube.
right.
Right?
Definitely, definitely. Always appreciate that. So, after the holidays, it's really difficult for people to motivate themselves. Lots of extra food, especially processed food, restaurant food, sugar, more sugar, sweet beverages, late nights, not enough protein, financial stress, family stress. Okay. And that was just talking about me. So, how about you guys?
I thought you were
like
talking about all of
like
us.
for real, right? We were just discussing before the radio show started that I don't know if I'm a really good vacation person. I love work. My work is my happy place. I really do love all my customers and clients. I love going there each day. Family dynamics, eating a lot of restaurant food and eating out is not really conducive to who I want to be. And it really throws me off emotionally, physically. I just feel like sometimes a truck hits me. And so I do realize that they are necessary breaks and they are important to, have quality time with your family members and loved ones, right? But sometimes we make the worst choices during those breaks. And I hope I'm not alone in that thinking. But I do also realize this has happened before in my life. This is not new. And we can get back on our feet, can get back on the right path. So, again, in this recap, I want to mention just a few tricks that I've done each and every time that I might fall off the wagon and just not feel myself. And everyone measures health differently. I've noticed that with my customers. I have some of I call them my type A's, that it's all about what they weigh. As long as they keep that same weight within a couple pounds, they deem themselves healthy. And then I have others that look in the mirror, and as long as what they see, their hair, their skin, looks young, I'm going to just use you young. We all are aging, but not as old as they hope to avoid, right? Then they feel healthy. And then others, it's by their energy. Are they able to still go to the pickleball court? Are they still able to run? Are they still able to just, go through a 12-hour workday? And then others, it's sleep. How are you sleeping? Are you sleeping at least 6 hours, 8 hours? Are you getting up a lot? Are you tossing and you turning? Sleep is a big one for a lot of people to determine their health. And then the other one that it's kind of my favorite is the ability to stay away from medications like prescription drugs. That is a big one for me. It's not like I'm doing a little contest with myself, but I do believe 100% that the disease is not caused by a deficiency of a prescription medicine. And so I really try with my customers, my clients, and myself to try to figure out what is really going on. What is the cause? I saw this really interesting Facebook post that Dr. Christopher Allison, he works with us in the store, functional medicine doctor, he posted, and it was this gentleman, he's probably famous, but I don't really follow Facebook, so I'm not really sure. And he was saying that he tried all these chemicals to get ash off his coal burning stove, like the window, you couldn't see through it. So he tried all these different abrasives and sponges and chemicals to get it off. And the only thing that ended up working is the soot itself. So what created the problem, it actually cleared the problem. And he put out the perspective, which is basically homeopathy. So that's how a homeopathy was created. What basically like versus like to cancel each other. You have to go to the cause. You have to go to the root of the issue to really get anywhere. Because especially, I mean, everyone, let's think of headaches, right? Headaches, you get one, and then the first thing you're running for usually is a pain pill, okay? So whether it be Tylenol, Motrin, ibuprofen, whatever your choice is, um, that's really not going to fix the cause, right? So if it's financial stress, did it put more money in your bank account? No. Is it because you did way too much caffeine in the holidays and then you stopped cold turkey, or vice versa, or too much sweet beverages, right? That pain pill is not going to correct any of those issues. So I just really hope that all my listeners for 2024 can just really consider cause on every subject, even emotionally, if there's tension, try not to react. Try to just think, where is it coming from? It's really hard to do this sometimes, but if you really think about where is this coming from, let me just take a step back, take a deep breath. You can really get at like I'm going to use this perfect example for this type of stressor. When I get upset, my left arm, you would think it's a heart attack, right? Not a heart attack, but my left arm has a little swelling, okay? And when I am dehydrated, that's when that swelling happens. And so I notice when I'm upset about something, I don't drink my normal amount of water. So I have to like go back to steps. Like some people, when they're upset, right? They're usually making the worst choices when their body needs the best choices. So I'm just giving you a little example. So all I do is tell myself, okay, I'm going to drink more water. I'm going to take a few deep breaths. I'm going to give that person a hug and move on. And then all of a sudden, everything feels normal again. Okay. So just that's one example, but I have many examples on how you can kind of step back what the symptom is to really figure out the cause. The and if you're one of my customers, I'm hoping that you have natural pain relievers at home, just that example for the headache, so you don't have the side effects of those pain pills. All right, so I believe in small steps, okay? Because small steps are not as intimidating. It's really crazy. A lot of people put a lot of New Year's resolutions out there where they're like their whole life needs to be changed in that first month. And that's very overwhelming, not only for your psyche, but also your physical body. Even though it's all one system working together really hard, it's just really almost a little bit insane to think that in one day, especially after a holiday, that everything's going to change. The first thing you get your credit card statement in from the spending of, December, and all of a sudden you're derailed, right? And then you lose hope. And so let's consider, if that whole big do it all or nothing approach hasn't worked for you, maybe small steps. So I definitely like to start with the smallest step ever. And this will be, again, the recap of 2023, because I noticed all the things I want to discuss today, I discussed last year as well. All right. So the first one that, and a lot of my listeners have told me over the years that they still follow this advice, okay, as a small step to make a huge change. And that is take brisk walks. Take brisk walks. And the first one I mentioned many, many years ago on the show was when you're in the middle of working, you can get a 5-minute break, walk around the building and do something. Sir, do you remember what I said to do? Walk around the building. Now we've joked about this one over the years. I'll give you a hint. You hug something.
Oh,
Do you
that
remember?
was the number one. To ground yourself?
Yes.
Ah, now that's the clue.
Yep. So hug a tree. Do you remember?
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with hugging a tree because if you put your bare feet on the roots of that tree
Yep.
and you put your hands on the trunk of that tree, you're completely grounded.
Absolutely. And this is a big science now. When I mentioned it years ago, people kind of giggled at
Yeah.
it,
Oh, yeah.
but it really is a huge science
They
now.
made fun of tree huggers, is what they
right?
did.
Yeah, they made it fun of me, but look at now, right? But so if you can just kind of escape your world wherever you're at and just take a quick brisk walk, and I mean 2-minute walk, it doesn't matter how long, and just connect with something in nature. You know, slip off your shoes, put them in the grass, hug a tree, go look at a leaf or a flower.
Step into the
Take
water.
those moments. Yeah, if you're blessed enough, you got some water around you, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really still my number one pick. One, it's an ability that most of us have. It's free, right? And so it really does have amazing health benefits. So definitely try that. Okay, still my favorite pick of all the years. The next one is start your day with water. Water, water, water. A lot of people start their day with other liquids, you know, juices, coffee, gosh forbid, energy drinks, or those really overly sweetened coffee drinks. I know that those are insane. I did a show just alone on how much sugar is in many beverages. Okay. Let's see how much sugar. So, we're looking at one that's in the studio, and so I never saw that brand. Somewhere, what is it called?
It's called Body Armor. It has coconut in it, but the different flavors all include coconut. This one is pineapple coconut.
Okay, so far I like it. So tell me what the sugar grams are.
Well, total sugars, let's see if I can see it. It looks like it says 2 grams.
Okay, so it probably has an artificial sweetener. So that's another thing. So I always say, always check the back in the ingredients label because it can be really deceiving.
Oh, it says pure cane sugar, one of the ingredients.
Okay, I'm actually okay with that
Yeah.
because it's only 2 grams.
Let's see. There's all kinds of citric acid and big long names.
Yeah, let me take a look and see because this is a perfect example. This is a huge bottle, and this is how many ounces? It looks really big.
12 to
28 ounces.
28. Okay.
So it's 2.5 servings in the bottle. So that's what, remember I talked about that one show? A lot of beverage companies are kind of, I guess, mandated to kind of disclose their sugar,
Yeah.
right? So now what they do is they make their bottles bigger and then they put different serving size. So when you look at the sugar, oh, that's not too bad, but that's for like a quarter of the bottle. So
Ah.
that's where they really get you. And this one, let's see if it has any artificial. It has no artificial sweeteners. So this is a good pick.
There's
So Body
electrolytes in
Armor.
it and all
Yeah,
kinds of
Body
stuff.
Armor based on coconut. Okay.
Superior hydration is what it's boasts on the.
Yeah, I'm really gonna give this and it's good quality plastic too.
I asked my doctor about it, and it blew me away. He says that's what he uses.
Wow. Okay. So this is a
Wow.
thumb up. I'm going to mention this to some customers. But the best thing to start your morning is still water. Okay. So I know some people don't have a taste for water, so you can enhance it with a little lemon or maybe a splash of coconut or something. But our bodies have been detoxing and rejuvenating all night long, trying to repair any damage that has already been there and really get you to a great starting point. So the last thing the body wants is for you to put things in that it has to digest, it has to figure out, it has another poison in there that the kidneys and the liver have to deal with. So again, my second top pick is start your day with water. Speaking of, we definitely had to do the 10:30 break because I forgot my water bottle in the car. I've never gone this long without
You're
water.
going to have to go get your water bottle.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do my brisk walk and connect with nature during the break.
There might be a tree out there somewhere.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, number 3 should not be any surprise to any of my listeners, customers, or clients, and that's breath work. So, like I mentioned earlier, breath work is super, super famous right now, as it should be. We all need to breathe to exist in our world. And breath work is a little more intensive. It's like exercise, and it's not just for the lungs, okay? Even though it does really help the lungs, it helps with oxidative stress. It helps the mitochondria in every cell. It helps the circulatory system. It helps your emotional well-being. You can, like you mentioned, with the blood pressure, you can bring your blood pressure down, especially if you have white coat syndrome. Sit in the car, listen to some good music right before you go in there and do some breath work, and you will help regulate that blood pressure. On YouTube, my favorite is called, it's a subscription channel called Take a Deep Breath, and he has hundreds of different videos on especially the box method, which is the Navy SEAL method. So I know I sound like a broken record when it comes to this breathing style, but it is really awesome and it can really change your life, and it's free, available to everyone. You can do it anywhere, anytime. It doesn't matter how long.
I discovered a delightful side effect of breath work.
Oh, let me hear
But you
it.
have to really do it for a considerable amount of time. But you can actually bring yourself into a dream state as if you were in full sleep.
Absolutely.
And that's
Absolutely.
cool.
And there are people that will not do breath work, just like meditation is. I think it's because some people can't regulate quiet time. They just it's intimidating to them. Their minds are their cortisol so high, their adrenaline is so high. They've gotten themselves to this heightened state that the fact to just sit and breathe is intimidating for them.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I mention any amount of time. If you pick a favorite YouTube, some of them have words, some of them have breath sounds, some of them just beeps, whatever works for you. When you're driving, you can do it. When you're a break, try it. It's really important for your health. Again, definitely one of my top picks. So I'm going to go get some water and we'll be right back, guys.
All righty. As Joanne rehydrates, we'll take a little radio break. Don't forget, this program is also being recorded on video to become an archive on YouTube. And when you see that QR code on the screen, go right ahead, focus your camera on it, and it'll link you directly to Joanne's World of Nutrition, Joanne's Nutrition World, the .com part. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Joanne from Nutrition World and Wellness Center. I am really excited to introduce new guests and topics to my show every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. here on WPSL, where my listeners can call in on any topic. If I don't know the answer, I'll try to find it. We want to help you become the best version of yourself. We'll have naturopaths, coaches. I am looking forward to sharing my years of experience with my listeners so we can enjoy this life journey together.
Visit Joanne's Nutrition World in the Crass Square, formerly known as the Arcade Building, located at US 1 and Orange Avenue, across from Fort Pierce City Hall. Open Monday through Friday from 10 to 4, Saturdays 10 to 3. Taking appointments for the Wellness Center online at joannesnutritionworld.com or call 772-464-3598.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
We now return to Joanne's World of Nutrition. Once again, here's your host, Joanne Seeger.
Hey everyone, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for spending some time with me this morning. I'm really grateful for all my listeners. And a shout out to all the people texting some ideas for me. I really appreciate it. So whether you have my personal cell number, which is on the back of every business card, or my store number, 772-464-3598, we definitely appreciate the feedback. And I have to say a shout out to two of my very loyal listeners, Melanie and Marlene. I love saying their names together. They always give me great ideas, so I really appreciate you guys giving me so much feedback. And I want to back up to the water idea. We were talking about it again before the show. There are so many options now for glass water bottles that are so easy to clean. They have sleeves on them that protect them from breaking. They're really affordable now. I really suggest that you make that investment and switch to a glass water bottle. I mean, again, I guess better for the planet, but water tastes so much better. I have to use glass because I do super silica in my drinking water, so it has to be in glass. But I really think everyone should switch. Once you go to glass, you won't go back.
Now, you have to use distilled water with a super silica?
Well, it works best in distilled water, but you can do like a reverse osmosis or filtered water as well.
Oh, okay.
So
Now, when you buy it, you usually buy it in a plastic bottle. You don't drink it from the plastic. You pour it into glass.
yeah, distilled, that's the thing. Like, of course, Matt wants to like have a distillery at home for water. But we do buy the distilled water. It kind of was easy when Luna was a baby, because we had distilled water for her. But I have been using we have these really advanced water system in our house. So I do use our water from the house most of the time. But if it's at the store, I have to use distilled because our 5 gallon is Mountain Valley water, which has minerals in it. So I'll do every other, one with Mountain Valley and then one with distilled, because I do drink a lot of water because I love water. So, all right. Whew. All right. So the next tip from 2023 is no snacking. So there are many diets out there, a lot of philosophies, and I get it. It's not one size fits all for the population, but the one thing that I think most people agree with, and I definitely know it works well in my life, is not to snack. Our digestive system takes so much energy. Like it really works hard, not just when you're chewing your food and doing all those different enzymes in your mouth, but your esophagus, your stomach, all the different valves that are opening to bring them into the different areas, your duodenum, your intestines. It's a lot of energy. So every time you take a bite of something, then your body has to kind of distract itself from other jobs and work on the digestive system. So I would definitely say if you're having a difficult time giving up food categories, you really love your French fries or whatever it might be, at least consider not snacking with that product or any other snack. Even a healthy snack turns on your digestive system. So that's definitely going to be a takeaway, which leads me to the next part of it. Let's try for 2024 to eat real food. I did a show for 1 hour discussing products. Why I didn't want to call them food, because they weren't. If something's created in a factory, something has chemicals in it, there are tons of preservatives. You can put them in your pantry and never worry about them. That's really products. It's not food. Food is something that you're going to grab at a farmer's market. It's perishable. You're going to see, mold grow on it. So that's real food. I say some exceptions might be for, grains and beans that we have to cook, but even those, make sure they're the ones that are not processed, not full of um, antifungals, pesticides, herbicides. You want to buy good quality, especially. I talked about almonds, like almonds have so many chemicals on them now because they attract so much mold. So, really, just make good choices for this year. If you don't want to give up a category, you don't want to go low carb, you don't want to go paleo, you don't want to go carnivore, you don't want to do vegan, you just want to live and exist, at least consider whole food only. Okay, whole food only. If it was made in a laboratory or a factory, I would just stay away from it. I think most nutritionists can agree on that fact, and I hope my listeners can too. What do you say, sir? Is that a good one? Stay away from food products.
Yeah, food. Well, food that is produced to become food, because it has to go through these processes. Well, like for instance, hot dogs.
Oh,
What the
you're
heck is
picking one of
that?
the worst
Yeah,
ones.
but you don't know what part of the animal is in the hot dogs,
Right.
and and it could be just about anything. And the more the mystery, the less you want to leave it alone. Of course, you don't want to eat it.
Yes, that's definitely good. And thank you for your feedback, because a lot of people really look at food still as a calorie unit or a fat unit, and they just look at packaging and they're like, "Oh, okay, so it's under 100 calories, it's okay," or "Oh, it's under 2 grams of fat, it's okay." And that really will mislead you, because you're not getting live food that's going to give you nourishment. You're basically eating products that all body systems are going to be taxed by. They're not going to know what it is, and chemicals end up hurting our bodies. Whether they're regulated and allowed in our food or not, chemicals are still chemicals, no matter how you look at it. So stay away from those chemicals. Um, I did hear rumor that I don't watch the news. So that California has banned red dyes, blue dyes, and a couple of brominated products. And I've talked about bromides many times on this show. Bromides are very dangerous. And so again, these chemicals are in our food supply and they are not allowed in other countries. So please be careful, and please try to stay away from anything you don't understand on a label. We have the ability to Google it now, so we have no excuse. We can Google anything. Oh, do you know what? We got that new, so when we got the new phone for the store so we can have the text, we got the Verizon Alexa, the one that has a screen. So instead of just the Alexa speaker, it's
So
a
you can read
screen.
the text.
It's right, yeah, it's a little thing. So we got it free from doing this contract for the store phone, and it follows you. So I was testing it because I do ask about recipes and stuff. I use the Instapot a lot. So I asked it last night, and the screen follows your voice. I said, "Oh my gosh." So, all those jokes about, big, brother watching you. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah,
"Oh yeah, it's watching my every move now,
I'm a
literally."
part of that Big Brother system
Oh my
with
gosh,
with
it's
my phone.
funny. It is absolutely
Oh
funny.
yeah.
So I know a lot of people don't think it's funny, but I just think that's crazy, how the technology is working. All right. So the next tip will be not to eat before bed. So again, no matter how bad you messed up in your day and how many sweets you ate, or again, I keep bringing up French fries. I don't know why. I hate French fries, but
Good
but
example of greasy stuff you shouldn't
yeah,
eat.
right.
Yeah.
Things you should avoid. But it's really not good to eat before bed. Okay. Now, there is one exception when people are on weightlifting programs or weight loss programs. A small serving of just protein before bed can stabilize the sugars and help enhance the repair of the muscle tissues. There has been some studies to show that. But again, that's a small amount of protein, like, one piece of turkey rolled up, so that's about it. So not like a whole dinner.
A little
Um,
yogurt.
yeah, and yogurt actually is the worst. I am
Really?
glad you brought up yogurt because yogurt is very misleading and even in health food stores they have rows and rows of yogurt, but yogurt is so pasteurized and processed. In our country, it is not that nice, beautiful, probiotic, cultured, sour yogurt anymore. It's super sweet and very concentrated with the dairy hormones. So again, so just plain old, really clean protein. If you do need to have something, if you're on one of those two protocols, but if not, 3 hours before bed, just leave it alone. Like I mentioned earlier, your digestive system should be shut down by then, and a whole nother system's coming into play that's going to work with cellular turnover, right? You want these guys to go in there and get rid of all the cells that have no use anymore and now make all these new, stronger cells and make amazing mitochondria for your energy for the next morning, your hydration, all that good stuff. So, really, no eating before bed. And if you find that in the middle of the night, you're kind of like really waking up needing food or especially sugar, okay, then that is just something that you usually have to battle through to start stabilizing your sugars. So if you have hypoglycemia or diabetes or pre-diabetes, then you would probably benefit from doing that single protein serving right before bed. Okay, so that would be the exception. But most people are aware of blood sugar now. If you're not, you can get at any store these days a blood sugar kit. They go from $12 to $200 depending on which one you buy, but you really want to get to know your glucose, okay? It's an amazing way to see how your body is working. Glucose does represent some scary things for some people, especially diabetes. you know um, you can lose your eyesight, you can have a foot amputated. It can get really serious, so you don't want to like avoid it with fear. You want to really tackle it. Go buy one of those kits, test your glucose, see where you're at. Check, I did another show on this too that you can go back into the archives, but one of the strategies is that you have one of your favorite meals, like you eat normal, and then 2 hours later you test your glucose and you see if it was all metabolized. And it's really cool. Like, I can't really do pasta, but I can do rice, so you'll learn tricks where your body can metabolize more efficiently and where it can't. So if you are waking up in the middle of the night and you feel very thirsty or hungry and you absolutely have to go down into the kitchen and feel like you need to eat something, I hope it's not ice cream, but a lot of people will tell me when they wake up in the middle of the night, they will really crave ice cream or cereal. Definitely a sign of that your sugars are not in balance. Okay, so a little protein before bed might do the trick. Another trick is collagen. So, collagen, I'm only talking about the liquid collagen by Health Direct. That one is incredible, and it's a great protein source that doesn't overwhelm the digestive system. It has clinical studies to show that it's great to help you go into a deeper sleep. I have noticed tons of those Aura commercials, those rings that monitor your heart and your sleep patterns. So maybe that could be a little birthday gift. Hint, hint, Matthew. So yeah, the ring I like versus the watch is because the ring I can handle sleeping with. I don't think I can ever handle a watch, but I know some people wear their watches to sleep to monitor their sleep patterns. But the Aura Ring, I had to watch commercials on my vacation. It's like, I'm not used to commercials. I always do movies on Netflix. But I noticed the Aura Ring was doing a lot of commercials. So if you've never heard about it, You should definitely check it out. The only downside, I feel like I'm doing a commercial for them right now, but the only downside for the Aura Ring that I have seen comments on Facebook and on YouTube is that it does make you kind of overstimulated about certain facts, like, oh no, I only got 7 minutes of REM sleep last night, or oh my gosh, my blood pressure's off 2 points, and you really start getting nervous, which is not good for your health. So these are things that might have been going on for years and with no problem to your health, but now you're aware of them and they start kind of getting you all nervous. So the Aura Ring, 99% is a great thing, but that 1% of folks, maybe if you're like that, don't buy one. All right. Now, the next thing is again about water. Okay. Yes, I know. I'm all about water, 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 water. But you heard my New York accent on that one. All right. So, small amounts of water. I never tell a client to drink a gallon of water a day. Never, ever. I always say, okay, why don't you do 4 ounces for every hour you're awake? Why don't you do 6 ounces every hour you're awake? Depending on the size of the person, because it's not so intimidating, right? It's not so crazy. But if you tell someone a gallon of water, even your own brain, it kind of goes, oh my God, that's a lot. But if you think about it, like 6 ounces of water every hour, that's nothing. You times that by how many hours you're awake in the day for the most common person, then you're getting a good quantity of water, and it's not overwhelming, not your brain, not your kidneys, not your liver. It's like perfect. So I love that. So the next is my favorite vegetables of 2023. Now, if you've been to our wellness center, you have heard me mention these two vegetables. I even got a voicemail from a friend of a customer who mentioned um, that if you eat these two, that I said to the friend that if you eat these two vegetables, then you won't have any problems at all. So I don't know if I give them this much credit, but I love the enthusiasm that the friend mentioned. So the two favorite vegetables of 2023 was celery and radicchio. So in the wellness center, we talk about the gallbladder and the liver a lot, okay? Major organs that help deactivate, detoxify, just really regulate the poisons and help get them out of the body, right? So the gallbladder and the liver love bitter vegetables. So radicchio was my pick. Why? Because sometimes we go crazy and spend a lot of money on vegetables in our house, and half of them would end up going bad because of whatever reason. But radicchio is perfect. It holds up so well in the fridge. It's this beautiful ball of vegetable. It's like purple, beautiful. You can just cut one leaf off a day and chew it, or chop it real fine and throw it in a salad or a stir fry. It's really inexpensive. It's really easy to use, and it doesn't go bad as fast. So that's why it was my pick. Okay. And celery, it's going to be my number one choice every year. I can't imagine anything beating out celery. I have found one that's kind of close. That will be my 2024 pick. But celery is incredible. Again, economical. It holds up in the fridge for a while. It's great for the kidneys. Remember, the kidneys have a major job, just like the gallbladder and the liver, cleaning out the body, filtering all the water, helping, if you're holding on to water, helping get rid of that. I always notice after I've had a vacation week where I'm eating processed carbohydrates, bread, just just really, I mean, I don't even call my choices bad compared to some others. Like when we were at this resort, I saw people eating so much toxic food and drinking a lot. And if I do one cocktail, I feel like I get puffy. So celery is a great way to move that water through, help the kidneys filter through things that don't belong. But my pick for 2024, it's I don't know, it might have to overrule celery, is dandelion. Yes, the weed dandelion. So we are carrying a product that is called Dandy Blend. You can find it everywhere now, but Dandy Blend is delicious to me. But if you're not a fan of the beverage, the tea dandelion, then you can even just throw it in your salad. You can juice it. It's just incredible. You can use the whole plant. It's a weed. It's totally safe for your dog. So if you have it growing in your grass, don't kill it. Don't use, I mean, those products, there's 163 different products that kill weeds, and they will kill you too. So please avoid them. So if dandelion's growing, rip it out. As long as you don't spray your yard, rip it out, wash it, and throw it in a salad. Dandelion has amazing health benefits, lots of nutrients, and it's great for the kidneys, great to help with swelling, inflammation, oxidative stress. So dandelion's going to be my pick. And again, economical compared to some other organic produce items. One of the tricks that I've mentioned is when you go into a produce section and you see a huge section of one vegetable, okay, like say the broccoli, real big section of broccoli, okay, and big section of carrots, right? Then you see this little area that they might even have like little baskets of like this handful of, rainbow chard, handful of radicchio, handful of dandelion. That's where you want to shop. Okay? When something is mass produced and it's popular, usually they're cutting corners. Their soil's not as nutritious. They're usually using chemicals. So you might want to consider dandelion just for that reason. Now, arugula used to fall in this category, just like dandelion. And now arugula is super famous. It's at every restaurant. Everyone's eating arugula. And again, now it's becoming one of those crops that are going to be, you know, financially, a win for farmers. So they're going to make more of it, and they're going to use chemicals. So again, try to stay with the ones that aren't as popular. Go to that little section that no one knows about in the corner of the produce market. All right. Ooh, I got to take another sip of water. Here we go. See, I went half hour without. I'm dying now.
Hydration is
Okay.
important.
Thank you. Thank you for filling that airspace, right?
No
The
dead air.
quiet, yeah, no dead air. All right. So, number 9, I'm doing good. I have 10 tips. So, number 9, okay, is inspired by a moment I had with my husband and my granddaughter. We did a fake snowball fight. So, in my Christmas boxes, there was this big box of white fake snowballs that I've never taken out ever. This year, I took them out and I just kind of placed them under the tree, and we just, in the spur of the moment, grabbed them and started having an indoor snowball fight. And it was so much fun. And if any of my northerners are listening, laughing at me because they can do real snowball fights, well, we can't here in Treasure Coast, Florida, right? We absolutely can't. And I definitely miss it being a New Yorker. But it was so much fun. We were running around, we were getting our blood flow going, we were laughing, and then we started dancing, and it was absolutely incredible.
Was it raining?
No, finally,
I was gonna
yeah,
say that
it
would
was,
that'd
it
make it more
was
fun.
right, but it was sunny and it was chilly out, and we had the doors open, but it was just really good because sometimes, life really makes us really serious. We're always, problem solving, multitasking, thinking of chores and stuff. And I definitely want to commit to laughing more. Like, I love to dance. I absolutely love singing, even though I cannot sing. I usually do it in the car, and I'm the shower singer. But it really is critical for our health to lighten up, let things go and laugh. Like, sometimes I'll say to my clients when they're really serious and they're just driven by the problem over and over again, they just want to focus on the problem. I'm like, can you tell me what the most serious problem you had a year ago? And they struggle to remember it. And then I'll say, what about for 2 years ago? Can you tell me what the serious problem was in 2022? And besides COVID, right? And they can't think of it. And that's the whole point, is that if you keep focusing on the problem and not lightening up and letting things go, you will definitely always be living in that high cortisol mode, high adrenaline mode. All right, I gotta drink water, losing my mind.
Well, sometimes we don't need to use our minds. Sometimes we need to relax. Drink some water, and then you're fine.
Don't steal my number 10, okay?
Oh, is that your number 10?
Oh yeah, good lead-in.
Uh-oh.
So
My
the
bad.
the final suggestion, okay, and a recap for 2023, and I think this one's going to be always in my protocol, is meditation. Meditation. It doesn't have to be linked to any religion. It doesn't have to be in a special cushion with a special incense. You can just do it anywhere, anytime, just kind of make an intention. Make an intention, an affirmation of what you want your day to be, and just sit, take a few deep breaths, and just let your body know what you want. And let's try not to live in our problems. Let's try to live in our solutions. I really appreciate you guys. And next week, we have Cheryl Myers on from Terry Naturally. And she's going to be talking about the must-haves for the new year to have in our pantry. Thank you, everybody.
Joanne's World of Nutrition, every Wednesday morning in the 10 o'clock hour, with archives on YouTube. This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast, webcaster to the world.